This is really dangerous. I called Beth about a week or so ago, and I said, Beth, I just want to make sure I understand what is expected of me in the morning. And she said, just say a few remarks. She says, there's no time limitation. I said, wow, giving a mic to an attorney with no time limitation. That is a brave woman. I'm really still wondering when I look around the room and I see all the men and women who have been distinguished at ASU, why I'm standing up here. Because not only do you honor me by this award and being among this group, I look at the people who have not won this award, from especially Rector, and they should be up here. I think my time should still come, but I'm very humbled by this opportunity. I do want to thank the ASU Alumni Association for the selection and honor of this award to be a distinguished alumnus. I also want to congratulate Mr. Miller and the late Mr. Way and his family. I met him one time, and just what a great guy. And I look at that list on the table of the past recipients, and I know many of those individuals personally, and just outstanding alumni that we have here at ASU. I've always been proud to be an alumnus of ASU. I want to introduce and thank my wife of 33 years, Lisa, for being here today. I married my best friend. She's still my best friend, and she knows me better than anyone. Whatever I've accomplished in my life, we have accomplished this together. Lisa, I just love you every day. I also want to introduce and thank my son, Alan, and and his wife, Maddie. I'm not used to thinking Alan has a wife. They've been married for 4 weeks, and it's going really well so far. And so thank you for being here. And I also want to introduce my lovely daughter, Mary Lauren. And they all live at Auburn right now. And so Alan and Maddie work for Campus Crusade, and Mary Lauren's a senior, so it's about 7.5 hours away or so for them to come up. So I really appreciate y'all being here. And we're a family. We've always supported each other in everything that we do. And so thank you for being here. I also want to thank Arlene and Tim Brown. They're giving up their weekend, I think, to make sure I get every place. They say they want to really host and everything, but they want to make sure I get every place. But also, they're doing everything they can to make this weekend very special for our family. And Arlene, Tim, I thank you so much. And I also want to recognize Alex Farmer for being here as well. When I was very honored to be elected the international president of Pi Kappa Alpha in 2014 in Baltimore. Tim and Alec made the trip to Baltimore to support me, so I really appreciate. This was a lot closer trip for you to come today than what it was last year. I remember when I decided to attend ASU, it was really at the last minute. I was one of these guys graduating from high school, and thought I would have a lot of different places I might want to go, but I wasn't sure exactly where that would take me. And my dad was career Navy, so we moved every 3 or 4 years. I was born in Washington, Bremerton, Washington, lived there for about 6 months, moved to California, the Bay Area, and moved from different cities literally every 3 or 4 years. And then we moved to Hawaii, lived there for 4 years, moved to Memphis, lived there for 3 years when I graduated from high school, and then started looking around at colleges. And after considering a lot of different universities and opportunities, I decided to continue my great football career, which most of you in this room do not know about that, and also baseball. And so at the last minute, I chose not to go to some universities in Memphis. And for a short time, actually 1 week, I went to Northwest Mississippi Junior College to play football and baseball. After 1 week of two-a-days and getting beat up for about a week, I decided football was not in my future. So I decided to leave. And I really went there to play baseball as well. I decided to leave, and about the second week in August in 1973, I called Coach Ike Tomlinson, who had recruited me. So I called Coach Ike, and we talked, and I drove over to Jonesboro, I can remember it as if it were yesterday. Such a gracious man, warm heart, and he encouraged me and persuaded me to attend ASU, which I did. It was probably one of the best decisions I made at that point in time in my life. I came to ASU to obtain an education and to play baseball. My baseball career was somewhat short-lived, and about 2 weeks into the semester, I met a couple of guys that were in a fraternity. I never, ever, and I really mean this, never, ever thought about joining a college fraternity. Was not on my radar screen. But have you ever met Tim Brown? Well, through some other guys, I met Tim, and I actually went to the Pike. We didn't have houses. We had these wings in Delta, and went over there and met 4 guys on the baseball team that were all Pikes. And that relationship, and they went and had lunch with me, called me up, and I felt like I was making these new friends. And during that period of time, it made the transition to college a lot easier for me, because I came to ASU and I did not know anyone whatsoever. No friends. I didn't know anyone. I had to get directions to where Twin Towers was located, and it was the tallest building on campus. But I came and had a great time. As I said, within a few weeks, I met some wonderful individuals. After the fall baseball season was over, I went back to Memphis for the first time to visit some friends. And a friend of mine who was driving, and we were out. It was about 11:30 at night, and we were seeing some friends at the athletic dorm at University of Memphis. We were going home, and he was driving, and I was just exhausted. We had just finished baseball practice that afternoon, came back to Memphis. He hit a telephone pole, and he was really smart. He had a seatbelt on, and I did not. So I was in a very serious automobile accident that I was in the hospital for several weeks and almost died. But during that period of time, I remember that 6 or 8 guys in Pike all traveled about 2 hours, because I was really up in Millington. My dad was in the Navy, so I was at the Millington Naval Hospital. Went up there and to visit me, and I was touched then, as I'm touched today, by guys that I'd only known for 9 weeks, traveling all that way just to see about my well-being and how I am. And it's just not Pi Kappa Alpha, but I think that's the spirit in what you learn at ASU. It's about friendship, and it's about loyalty, and it's about those relationships. I did withdraw from school, and after I recovered, I did return in the spring semester. Was on the baseball team, and I had a better time being on the team than I probably had playing, but I enjoyed it, and I just never really got over the car wreck and some things. And looking back, I probably just wasn't as good as I thought I was coming out of high school. It kind of reminded me of just those great moments that you have. I think I've so much enjoyed the years that I attended at ASU, and it's just a great place that when you leave and you move like I did every 3 or 4 years, you're always looking for that place that you call home. As I reflect on my days at ASU, I'm so grateful for the so many opportunities that were provided to me. The spring break baseball trips, and it's amazing what you learn about guys being on a bus for 15, 16 hours. The upperclassmen, they start playing poker, they think the freshmen don't know how to play very well, and most of the time they're right. So you lose all your money, then they loan you money or they give you money. It's just a great camaraderie, and you really get to know people really well. The involvement in Pi KA certainly has been a lifelong experience for me. Being involved in all the student organizations here at ASU, that's probably how I got involved in meeting Margot and Beth over the years, and so many friends, from homecoming activities to being involved in student government. It's just ASU is a welcoming place. I'm so glad that I had the pleasure to know and meet Coach Ike. He was a legacy when I arrived at ASU. A person who meant so much to me over the years. I want you to know how much I really enjoyed and loved Dean Moore, then the Dean of Students. He was always 4 steps ahead of all of us. he was calling me into the office to know what I was doing or the Pikes were doing before we actually did it. He was just amazing. But he was always a giving person, but he's always firm, and he taught me so much about mediation and being reasonable under the circumstances. And then Doc Mink, who was our chapter advisor, just a solid individual and a person that I really came to have a lot of respect for, that guided our chapter and gave good advice to the men in that chapter during that period of time. I remember when Lisa and I got married, at least when the announcement came out, Coach Ike wrote me a personal note, just said he saw the announcement and he just wanted to know he was thinking of us. And Dean Moore and Doc Mink and I communicated after I graduated just to stay in touch, probably more make sure that I was still doing what they advised me was in my best interest, more so than me taking my life in my own hands at that time. Because of my involvement in Pike, I've traveled to at least 50, 60 college campuses. In fact, this morning, Alex asked me some questions about what about different universities I've attended, what do I think about them? And I've seen big, I've seen small, I've seen commuter campuses, I've seen campuses that everyone thinks are resident campuses, but they're still commuters. People come and go and they leave. And it's just my times at ASU and what I think of ASU, if I had to choose all over again of where I'd attend my college days, it's easy. There's no place that I would attend other than ASU. One of my best moments of being an alumnus of ASU and also being an international president of Pike AA was in Baltimore. Tim, as I said, came up to Baltimore to support me, but also at the same time, our international fraternity, much like a lot of fraternities, I know I have to be really nice because I know there's some really prominent Sigma Pi's in this room, so, and Sigma Pi's is a really good fraternity as well, among many, many others. But we give an award every 2 years, and it's the highest award we give, and we've given it to guys like Chad Holliday, who was President CEO of Bank of America, now President CEO of Shell Oil Corporation. We've given it to Joe Ford, one of the founders, one of the co-founders, CEO of Altel. I've met Joe several times, had dinner with him, just great guys, former CEO and president of Tyson Foods. Just some really good Pike A's and good guys that are given to this community. Well, I had the pleasure of introducing and inducting Tim into what Pike A calls the Order of the West Range. And even though I was elected president of the fraternity, that really meant a lot to me. It probably meant as much, if not more, being able to introduce Tim as the recipient of that distinguished award that we give out, because he is such a great, great person, and I'm so glad that I was able to do that. It's quite an honor for you, Timo. I think the ASU welcomed me with open arms and was a great place to provide me an education and a place for me to come to mature, to grow up, to be the person that I want to be and to become. ASU is at the core foundation of the character, integrity, and everything that one could learn in the classroom and on campus. The friends across campus were always there for you regardless of the circumstances. ASU is just one of those great places. ASU became that second home because, as I said, I kept moving every 3 or 4 years, so I really never had that place that was that stability for me because we kept moving. And all the friends I had throughout the years, I don't know what happened to my friends in first grade, third grade, sixth grade, eighth grade. They're out there somewhere. But when I came to ASU, I found that home of stability and my lifelong friends that have stayed with me. I chose ASU to attend, and I would do so all over again. Thank you for honoring me as a distinguished alumnus in 2015. As I said, I will continue to strive to earn this award each and every day to make you proud of another alumnus. And one day, I hope I feel really worthy to have this award, because for what I've accomplished or what I've done when I look out into this room, I've just begun to start to deserve this award. But thank you so much. Thank you for honoring myself, but also honoring my family today. Go Red Wolves.